Hello and welcome to Revsportz. I'm Gargi Raut, and while we talk about the Women's Premier League and the India versus New Zealand series, don't think that we've forgotten about the young team that is all set to take on their Under 19 World Cup campaign. Rohit Juglan joins me for the show. He's in Zimbabwe and he's going to be covering the entire tournament. Rohit, welcome to the show. Begin with setting up the entire tournament. What is the Under 19 World Cup looking like for the Indian team and the overall tournament? What are the chances for Team India here?
So, as far as the tournament is concerned, India is coming up from a good preparation, and not only good preparation, but the kind of momentum they are carrying at this point of time. As I mentioned in multiple videos, that the win against South Africa, that clear, convincing 3-0 win versus South Africa in the absence of their two premier batters, including a captain in that. Aayush Mhatre wasn't there, then Vihan Malhotra was also not part of that squad. But under the captaincy of, Vaibhav Sooryavanshi, the way these boys have played, they carried a certain kind of momentum, and after landing here specifically in Bulawayo, because they directly taken a flight from South Africa to Bulawayo and landing here in 8th, and then from 9th onwards they have started their practice. 9th they had a practice, 10th they had a practice game, 11th they had a practice, 12th they had a practice game, 13th 14th they had a practice session. So no rest day for these under 19 boys. And apart from that, yes, as far as the whole tournament is concerned, there will be multiple venues. Namibia will host games. In Harare there's two different grounds. There's one Takasinga Cricket Club, and then there's Harare Sports Club. So as far as the tournament is concerned, there's a lot of excitement in the local people here, and they know the name of Web of Suryanchi, they know the name of Oliver Peak, they know the name of Thomas Ryu, they know the name of Samir Minhas. There are multiple names at this point of time, which the locals are talking about them, and multiple teams. Australia, the defending champions, definitely India, the the runner-ups last year, but more important than that, most time winners as far as this under 19 World Cup history of this under 19 World Cup is concerned. As far as this tournament is concerned, things are looking good. Weather, hopefully at this point of time, it's not that bad. Yeah, you can see that puddle, which will tell you the story that it's raining a lot. So that could be the only worry factor, as far as this under 19 World Cup is concerned. I don't think apart from this particular thing there is anything which we have to take care of. So yeah, it's the curtain raiser time, and we all know that India have to play their starting matches in Bulawayo, and eventually it's USA first, Bangladesh second. The controversy right now around what's happening between ICC and BCB and BCCI, and then eventually to New Zealand. So yeah, lot to look forward to.
The one name that is taking up all the headlines is obviously Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. All eyes are on him after a fiery domestic tournament. We've seen what he's done in the IPL as well last time around, but again, all the attention is on Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. How important a tournament is this for him?
Oh, definitely, he's going to be the one of the biggest names as far as this under 19 World Cup is concerned. And when I'm saying the biggest name, it's not only related to India. It's, as I mentioned in the first part of the answer, that the locals here know his name. They know who Vaibhav Sooryavanshi is all about, what he can do, and how his how he has been hitting the ball. If you talk about the first two warm-up games also, yes, can't able to score much as far as that second warm-up game is concerned versus England, but in that innings versus Scotland, he scored a 50 ball 96. There were 7 huge sixes as far as Vaibhav Sooryavanshi is concerned, and the way he preparing himself, it's either my way or highway. It's that kind of approach. So and the most important thing is you see the way he's coming up as far as this team is concerned. There's his 100 in South Africa he scored, He was the captain there. In the second game, there was a half century, then converted it into a century in the third game. Uh, on the very first game, when there was no runs, people asked that, it's a tough condition. Will Vaibhav Sooryavanshi be able to score? He scored in that particular series. And, before that, if you go to Asia Cup, first game 100 versus UAE, and a big 100. You go to Australia, he scored a 80 odd there also. You go to England before that, there he had a 52 ball 100, 80 on the very first game, 80 odd runs in the very first game. And these all are coming in a strike rate of 180 to 200. So he's not only scoring runs, but he's scoring runs with a quick pace. And that's one of the major factors, that if Sooryavanshi will be there, if you are batting first, he'll be there for an hour or hour and a half. It will be a game on, means it will be game quite done, as far as if you are looking at from India's point of view. While chasing, if he spend that much amount of time, things will be very easy for Indian team as far as Vaibhav Sooryavanshi batting is concerned. So yeah, he's doing his bit in the practice sessions also. He was bowling also. There's his fielding also really well at this point of time. He took an amazing catch. I remember when I was in England, he took an amazing catch in Beckenham at that first youth test. Day before yesterday, he took a blinder here, versus England. So that's something which is very underrated part of his skill set, that nobody talks about how good a fielder is Vaibhav Sooryavanshi at that point of time. Yeah, but contributing with the bat, contributing with the ball, he'll be there as someone who can guide. He's only 14 years old, but the way he led in South Africa, I was having a word with couple of the members of the squad, and they were telling me that they saw him growing into this. And so yeah, I don't think that Ayush Mhatre will be alone. So in many ways, and obviously one to look out for as far as this tournament is concerned overall.
Ayush Matre was the captain. Web of Suryavanshi had replaced him in the South Africa series last time around, but he's coming back into the game now. He's been practicing. What is it looking like for Ayush Matre as well? What's in store for him, and can he deliver?
I know where this question is coming from, because if you see the youth ODIs, and if you look how where all the places where he scored, you won't find apart from that 38 he scored versus Pakistan in UAE at the Asia Cup. Apart from that 38 in England, he played 4 matches. In Australia, he played 3 matches. South Africa, he missed because of injury. Asia Cup, again, all 5 matches there, including that final against Pakistan. There's only one innings of 38 runs where he scored, in the league stage. This is not in the final, this is in the league stage where he scored that 38 runs. But if you see, apart from the youth ODIs, you will see a couple of test hundreds for Ayush Matre, which is not an easy thing. So a couple of test hundreds in during that youth test, a couple of Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy hundreds. So, and I remember all the praises done by Surya Kumar Yadav, towards Ayush Matre. So it's not like that he is not scoring runs in any format. Yes, you want runs in youth ODI because you have to play an ODI format. But look at what he's doing apart from youth ODIs also, because that's also really important for his confidence also. And the most important thing is that he got his 49 against England, and it was a great innings to watch. Because why I'm saying this, because the ball was holding up, the ball was gripping a bit. You see the dismissal of Vaibhav Sooryavanshi. Aaron George wasn't playing there, so you have a Vedant Trivedi there, you have a Vihan Malhotra, even a well-settled, Ambrish, which means him and Abhigyan Kundu almost having a partnership of 97-98. He fell out because the ball is gripping that much, and he also scored some 46-48 runs. But if you look at that particular innings from Ayush Matre, you'll get to know that how important that inning was, and how good it was for his confidence just before entering into the under-19 World Cup. And definitely he will be the most important thing again, the way he lead. And he's a superb leader without a doubt. He has the confidence, he has the decision making power, he has his team with him, the camaraderie is there, the coordination is there. The leadership skills are there, and that's why you see England, we won 3-2. Australia, we win 3-0. South Africa, obviously he wasn't there, we win 3-0. Asia Cup, yes, that only thing which, where you can question him is that Asia Cup final versus Pakistan. Apart from that, he was brilliant. He's just brilliant with the bat and with the leadership hat.
Rohit, tell me about India's bowling lineup. Do you think there is a threat there? Do you think the bowling is the weak link here for the Indian team? What's the focus on Deepesh Devendran at the moment?
If you compare, Indian batting and Indian bowling, definitely there's not a huge gap. But yes, the batting has been done it, multiple times now. They have the star power there. They have, as we can, as I was mentioning, Vaibhav Sooryavanshi is there, Ayush Mhatre is there, Aaron George, Vedant Trivedi, Vihan Malhotra, Abhigyan Kundu, Kanishk Chauhan, Khilan Patel. These are the last two names were the all-rounders, who batted really well as far as this particular tournament is, the warm-ups are concerned, or before that also. Look at a Kanishk Chauhan. He's I think from my point of view, he is one to watch out for. He's really good with the bat, with the ball. So there are multiple names. Ambrish, RS Ambrish is also there. So you have multiple players as far as in backup also. You have a backup wicketkeeper, Harvansh Pangalia, who did really well with the bat in South Africa. So you have multiple players, you have a good bench strength as far as your batting is concerned. But when it comes down to bowling, yes, if you look at that Asia Cup final, it was the bowling, and it was the bowling, the weak link there. Here against England also, if you see the way they dominated in that game, England, it's again the bowling where you can ask questions. It was just 3 wickets, one from Henil Patel and 2 from Khilan Patel. But here comes this man, Deepesh Devendran, which you just talked about. Him being the highest wicket taker in Asia Cup. Again, on that game, in that particular game versus England, he was the one. There was a sharp edge also. It was missed out, from the wicket keeper. But the way he's bowling at this point of time, without a doubt, you can tell that he's the one. India will bank on. Apart from Deepesh, it's also Kishan, who's done really well in that South Africa series. With that, you have Arish Ambrish in these kind of conditions where you have certain kind of assistance, dark clouds over, there's movement in the wicket, there's moisture all around. He was the one, pick up the bowlers in England also. So if you see his contribution also, so yes, you have names. Then you have Henil Patel, as I mentioned. You have this Uddhav Mohan. You have multiple names as far as this Indian team is concerned. But if you compare it with the batting, the kind of bowling we have, and when you compare it, you will find a little bit of weak link there in the bowling. And then you have your spinners also. As I mentioned, Khilan was there, a left arm spinner. Then you have a right arm offie with Kanishk Chauhan. You have a Mohammad Inan leggy. So you have multiple options, and then you have Vihan Malhotra, Vaibhav Sooryavanshi, Ayush Mhatre, who all can bowl. So could be a weak link, but not with a fair distance.
I've been watching all your videos, Rohit, and you've been talking about rain. You've been talking about rain possibly playing spoil sport in the tournament. What's it looking like at the moment? Will it impact the tournament? Tell me about it.
Yes, this could be the major factor. As I'm showing you around, it's the puddles here all the way around. Thankfully, at this point of time, there's nothing going on, but you can see, it's all the dark clouds. It's not a very clear sky at this point of time. Otherwise, I am living at a AQI of 17, and it's excellent, but still you can't see the clear skies, and that's because it's cloudy. And I came here on 9th. I am here since 7th in Zimbabwe. So first in Harare, then in Bulawayo, and it's raining. I've experienced rain in during my visit. I think all the days. It's either raining or drizzling, and there were multiple interruptions. Look at the 2 warm-up games. The result was declared because of the DLS method. So that also gives you a picture that how at this point of time, rain is playing its part. When I had word with locals, I was having word having a chat with locals, and they said to me that next 10 days it's a similar kind of forecast. But the good thing is that it's not raining all day long. So yes, there could be some deduction in the overs. There could be DLS method into the game, but that's where the team, the team's batting first. They have to calculate it, brilliantly, because otherwise, the DLS method will come to the act, and we all know that how, if you hadn't calculated your first innings like that, that there could be a rain possibility in the second innings, it will be really difficult to make the result in your favor. So I think that's one has to see, and that will be the trickier part when you talk about this weather thing. Definitely, it's going to impact the tournament, the conditions, the outfield, the pitch, everything gonna be impacted by this. But again, you have to be proactive with your plans, because this is not something very new. It's the rainy season here in Zimbabwe, in Namibia also. There's rain around. But yeah, the good thing is that it's not happening for all day long, and yeah, just the proactiveness of the team, especially who's batting first, I think will give it again the same kind of balance as far as the game is concerned. So yeah, it's the rainy season, so we'll definitely experience rain, but doesn't going to be impact a lot in the tournament. Conditions will change definitely. Wicket, there will be a wear and tear, but nothing more than that.
Okay, we all know that India is heading into the tournament in the Under 19 World Cup as favorites. But tell me also, they begin their campaign against USA, but at the same time, what are the other teams that you will be looking out for?
So yeah, there are multiple teams. Obviously, defending champions Australia, Oliver Peak, their captain. I think he's in brilliant form. He was the part of the last World Cup, also last Under 19 World Cup as a player. And then we had also this rule, but Rahul Dravid scrapped it, that if you had played one Under 19 World Cup, you can't play two. So look, Vaibhav Sooryavanshi, 2 years from now, he'll be what? He'll be 16. Or maybe 17, so he's very much eligible to play another World Cup. But it's the rule of the BCCI set by Rahul Dravid, that time Under 19 coach, that no one will play the World Cup twice. But in other countries, this is the part. In our country also, there was the time when these things happen. But at this point of time, so I was giving example of Oliver Peak, that he with Australia is definitely one to look out for. Australian teams in ICC tournaments, we all know, we doesn't have to tell that how good they are as far as but taking pressure, performing in big matches are concerned. So Australia is definitely one. England definitely the another team under the captaincy again of Thomas True. He did really well in that youth ODI series also. I remember versus England, it was his contribution that made a lot of difference. The scoreline of 3-2 was very much because of Thomas True's inclusion in the setup. And after that, if you look at they are carrying two spinners also. So if you look at the balance of this team, with the captaincy and the way he bats, look at the warm up game versus India. He was the main man there, and he scored some 60-70 not out at that point of time. It was the rain, actually means paused in innings at that point of time, and then the game never went on from there onwards. They won by DLS method, but yeah, the way he is also scoring, it's brilliant. And after that, if you see the kind of team West Indies have, with players already playing for the West Indies senior team, and now they are part of the Under 19 setup. It's obviously brilliant from their part also. So yeah, it's West Indies also, under the captaincy of as I was mentioning, India will be definitely there. So under the captaincy of Aayush Mhatre, India will be another team to look out for. And obviously Pakistan beat us in the Asia Cup final. They are the Asia Cup champions also. Samir Manas, Ali Raza, there are some players you will look forward to. Definitely Samir Manas, he's the one to watch out for Pakistan also. for India, from India point of view also, that is there a threat, as far as playing versus Pakistan is concerned. At this point of time, there is no scheduled match, but if there is in future, these teams obviously will have a really good go as far as this tournament, this under 19 World Cup is concerned.
Tonight, the campaign starts for the Indian team, India versus USA. USA, of course, is a team that you will not that will not roll over. It's not a team that you want to undermine. Tell me about the game. How are you looking at this fixture? Will it be a challenge for Team India? Tell me about it.
So yes, USA versus India. Sorry, if you talk about the USA, let me read out the names first, because you will get to know that what this USA team is all about. It's USA versus India, but because I was there in the USA versus Pakistan game, and someone telling this to Sarfaraz, their head coach, that it's looking like the names are looking like that they are also very much this game is also very much like India versus Pakistan. So let me read out the names first. It's Amrinder Gill who opens for them, Sahil Garg, the number 2, Arjun Mahesh, number 3, the wicket-keeper batter, Utkarsh Srivastav, their captain and their most star batter, the most important player. So Utkarsh Srivastav, then Adnit Jamp, then you have a Amog Aripalli, then you have a Nitish Sudini, then you have a Shiv Sahani, Adit Kapa, Sahir Bhatia, Rayan Taj, you have a Ritvik, you have a Rishabh, you have a Advait, you have a Sabrish Prasad. So this is your USA team. This is your USA squad. I just read out. So yeah, it is USA versus India today. But if you look at the players there, they are all from Indian origins. I met their family members also, the players' family members also, and they were really happy. They gave a good fight to Pakistan. It's not that was a one-sided affair versus Pakistan also. But yeah, a couple of good players there. As I said, that you see Utkarsh Srivastav, he's been their star player, their captain. And if you look from the very start, it's Sahil Garg also played a really good part as far as that Pakistan match was concerned. He scored some 70 odd runs, and he was brilliant in that particular game. So it's not like that they doesn't have players. They have players. They have some good quality spinners, fast bowlers, medium fast bowlers, and most importantly the batters. But if you compare both the sides, yes, player to player wise, if you compare, it's India definitely having the upper hand at this point of time. But yeah, it's going to be a good game. As I said, that versus Pakistan also, it wasn't a one-sided affair. So it won't be something where you will see, oh, there's no match to this this particular contest and it's looking very one-sided. It won't be like that. That I can be very sure of, until and unless Vaibhav Sooryavanshi, until and unless it's Vaibhav Sooryavanchi's day. So let's hope for a great finish. And yeah, definitely India having the upper hand here, as far as this important contest, if you talk about this important contest.
Well, that's it for this show then. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Rohit, for joining this show as well. And to everyone who's
Thank you.
watching, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back very soon. And of course, keep your eyes peeled on the space on Revsportz, because Rohit will be bringing you all the updates from the Under 19 World Cup. Thank you.